Hello, dear learners. Today I'm going to be talking to you about groups and group behavior. We all understand in organizations it is extremely inevitable, especially in today's organizations, to be working in groups and teams. You are not evaluated as an employee for the job that you do as an individual, but you are all the more evaluated for working in a team, for your team playing abilities, and for you being an active and a very contributing member when you work as a member of a team or a group that you belong to. And within the organization, there are numerous groups that you will be a part of, right? And you could primarily belong to your department. Your department would be your primary group. You could be a part of a team, a project, or a special task purpose, or you could be a part of a problem solving group. There are different groups that you will definitely be a part of. So we need to understand what happens to individuals when they are part of a group. We understand this whole concept of group dynamics. When people come together, how do they respond? How do they interact with each other? How do they behave? And how does that help an organization or help the group or the team to achieve its goals and objectives? So let us understand a little more further about what we mean by groups. So primarily, what do we understand by a group? A group would mean individuals with two or more individuals coming together, working together, and interacting and being interdependent with each other. And they come together primarily to be a part of a group because they have a task to achieve, they have a group goal to achieve, they have a team goal to achieve. And achieving that team or that group goal automatically helps them to achieve organization goals. So, if we want to classify groups, groups can be classified into formal groups and informal groups. So, what do we understand by formal groups? What do we understand by informal groups? Now, formal groups would mean all those groups that are created or designed by the organization, by an organizational authority. For example, it could be the management of your organization that decides that you should belong to this particular group, or they constitute a project committee, they constitute a special task force, and nominate you as a member, right? Now, when that group is created by your organization, and it is the management and your organization that decides that you should be a part of the group. And they may also specifically tell you what is your role in the group. Are you the team leader or are you a team player? Are you going to be a supporting, are you going to play a supporting role in the group? So the design of the group, the objectives of the group, the the role that you're going to play in the group, the responsibility, authority, accountability, all of that is going to be decided and designed by management. So this is what we call as a formal group. Whereas we could also be a part of many informal groups. In many organizations, we are part of many groups that we create ourselves. Management or organization does not have a role in creating or designing such a kind of a group. Now, this could be a group of friends or a group of employees in the organization or friends in the organization who love to play cricket. So it's a cricket group, or a group of colleagues in the organization, irrespective of the department, irrespective of whether they are seniors or juniors. If they love to play a game of billiards, or they like to go out on trekking or on adventures, or simply to just have coffee, or simply to go jogging, or they are preparing for a half marathon, right? Now this is a group that is created out of the common interest of the members, of the interest or of a hobby or an activity that brings them together. Now this is a group that is designed or created by the individuals themselves. The management or organization does not have a say in this. The members mutually decide what is going to be their group goal, mutually decide who's going to be the leader, and mutually decide what is going to be their role and how they want to come together and achieve this sort of a purpose, right? Now that's what we mean. Formal groups are groups that are designed by the organization and they find a place in the organization structure, and they have very designated work assignments. They have a very specific organization related activity or an organization related role to play as such. Now, let's look at the type of formal groups that we have. We have two types of formal group. One is a command group, and another could be a task group. Right? A command group could be a group which is of a permanent nature. It has a functional reporting relationship where there is a superior, there is a subordinate. You could either be a superior or you could either be a subordinate. And these groups are groups that find a place in the organization structure or in the organizational hierarchy. Now, this is a command group. A command group is a permanently is a relatively permanent group that you primarily belong to. Whereas a task group is a group which is created for a temporary of a temporary nature for a specific period. It has a specific goal and an agenda to achieve. Right? As soon as the goal and the agenda is achieved, then yeah, the task that role comes to an end. Right? It could be a task force. You are given a certain agenda or an objective or a goal to achieve. As soon as that objective or goal gets accomplished, right? So your role could come to an end. It could be a problem solving group. As soon as the problem is solved, the 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 group dissolves as such. So this is a task group, but the command group and the task group. The command group, which is of a permanent nature, the task group, which is of a temporary nature, both are created by the management of your organization. Whereas if you look at informal groups, as I told you, these are created out of mutual interest, mutual alliances, members, irrespective of departments, irrespective of whether they are superiors or subordinates, they all come together and work. And these groups do not find a role or do not find a place in the organizational hierarchy or in the organization structure. These are created out of mutual interest. These are created just for that informal or social interaction between the members of the group. So informal groups could be of two types, right? They could be, we can classify them into interest groups and friendship groups. Friendship groups are groups that bring people because of their common nature, of the nature of relationships, or on the nature of affinity, or on the nature of who they feel comfortable to be with, or it could be friendship groups of groups that belong. It could be an alumni group or friends who studied in the same school or college, or friends who have a common, you come from a common place as such. It could be like that, right? So there's no reason why somebody makes friends, right? Interest groups could be specific to an activity or a hobby or something of interest, where members are wanting to be a part of the group because they want to learn from each other. They want each other's company. They want to do things together, right? So that's what is an interest group as such, right? So interest group would be those who work together for a specific objective, and then these are of relative nature. These are also of relatively temporary nature. As soon as the interest is achieved, or they feel that the interest is not, they are not feeling satisfied or happy with being in that particular group, they don't seem to realize the purpose of being in the group, the members could leave or the group could dissolve because members are inactive, they don't meet, they're not very serious. It could be many reasons why an interest group could dissolve. Friendship group many a times is of a permanent nature, but these are affinities or strong emotional bonds that you carry from a very long time. So friendship groups are of a permanent nature. Very interesting thing about the friendship group is these are groups where these individuals may not be meeting on an everyday basis, or they may not be communicating with each other for months together. But when they decide to meet, they will meet like a house on fire. They would meet like they've known each other very well, or they've been having conversations almost every other day. I mean, that's a very special nature of a friendship group, and that's the reason why we call that to be a very a group of a permanent nature, right? So these are very interesting aspects that we need to know. And to summarize, groups are inevitable in organizations, and in every organization, uh, being a part of a team, being a part of a group is of a very important nature. You, as an employee of the organization, are evaluated on the basis of your team playing abilities, on the basis of how well you're able to relate with each other on an interpersonal level, how well you're able to interact, how well you're interdependent, how well you create win-win situations for each other, how well you co-create and make things very conducive for everybody in the group. So it all works to that particular aspect. So getting to know these groups is very important as you hone yourself, or as you prepare yourself to be a manager in the organization, and to be a leader later on in the organization. Trying to develop these group skills or group abilities are of utmost nature, right? So with that, we come to the end of this particular video where we talk about the different types of groups. In the next video, we will talk about the formation of groups. What is the nature of groups getting formed, or how do we create these groups, and how do we go about is what we will discuss. Thank you very much for watching.